I'm Miss Ingram and I'm one of the Primary 1 teachers at Hartview Primary School in Glasgow.
And I'm Gemma Henry, so I'm a Primary 1 teacher as well, so we're team teaching this year. We've been operating a kind of play-based curriculum where we are structuring our day-to-day around play. We have timetable slots of play, but then with the kind of lessons that we have, maths and language, we've been making that kind of play-based, kind of mixture of play-based and kind of teacher-led.
And we have 40 children in the class. Yeah. We needed our teaching groups to be fairly contained, so we decided to split the class into 3. And initially we just did it quite mixed abilities. It was just basically through the register. So we'll have a small whole class teaching section, and then we'll split into the 3 groups, and one group will be a direct teaching element with one of the teachers in class. Sometimes another group will go into a smaller one-to-one room, especially if it's a quiet activity like reading or blending activities, and then the other third of the class are doing independent activities on their own.
It's working really well, and I feel like the kids know what to do and what we expect from them, and both of us had Primary 2 last year, and I would say that these children are so much more independent than when kids came a year older to us last year. Because there's so many of them, we aren't able to deal with all the wee issues and all the wee, children constantly coming up to us, so it kind of had to be like that for us to kind of teach.
And you get the children though that like they've taken ownership of it. Do you see the wee ones that are acting as the teachers, and they kind of make sure you're doing this, you're not time wasting, and you can set them a task and you can leave them, and they come up with great ideas loads of the time, and they'll come over and then they'll show the other children, and they do really, really take responsibility without constantly needing us.
Yeah.
Have you had to put anything to one side or on hold or defer any aspects of what would be expected normally within Primary 1?
Basically, we've taken a whole new approach to phonics this year as well. Again, from our experiences in Primary 2, there was a lot of children still didn't have all their single sounds. There was a lot of them that were, in fact maybe most of them, weren't where they were supposed to be in Primary 2. So the decision was made to kind of coincide with this play-based curriculum that we were going to slow it right down. That we didn't actually start, we did a lot of work on phonological awareness from the beginning, and when was it? Was it just after the September weekend maybe? Or was it a wee bit later than that we started? So it was October time we started Jolly Phonics, and we've been doing 2 sounds a week. We've just finished the 3rd set, and it's lots of kind of active, kind of over-learning really, but our literacy leader of learning has just recently assessed them all, and they've all come on massively, so it's been a really big success.
And even when we think in terms of like now we've been starting to do common words and things,
they're actually reading common words. Last year, Primary 2, we couldn't, it's having faith in the kids, and the tables thing, we were kind of like, I was like, how can they not have tables? Like, what are we going to do in the morning? What are we going to do first thing? Where are the kids going to go? But it has worked completely, it's worked really well, so much so that we wouldn't go back to that. Because I feel like the children that are more likely to display kind of challenging behaviour, they're not going to want to sit down, and they can't listen for long on the carpet, and things like writing, it's there's lots of things they could be doing that are quite difficult, but when you kind of open it up and you've got practical things, because I'm thinking about all these wee boys that we've got, and they like building, and they like they like all the active stuff, so I feel like having this kind of approach has certainly helped with the kind of potential behaviour issues that we could be having.
Yeah.
We like things to be structured, and we would plan things to like an inch of their life, and things would be timed, and I felt I had to be in control all the time. So it's just kind of changing what you think because I was had it in my head that that them not having a seat is not going to work, and that's what I was convinced was going to happen, but then it was the opposite way around. So it's just that kind of letting go and
even and like with things like planning lessons, and we think, oh, if we set out something and we think, oh, they'll do this with it, and then it doesn't go that way, and like they don't particularly learn what you think they're going to learn, but then at the end of the day they're still like, they'll come up with other ideas and use it in a completely different way that you would never have thought of, and then that makes an interesting point to talk to the class about that, and other children can then build on it, and it turns into one little small thing can turn into a much bigger thing, and it's not something that you've planned and could never plan.
I feel after doing all this, I feel a lot more confident in giving more ownership to the kids.
Yeah, definitely.
Involving them, because I was always a wee bit kind of, oh, it can't be left up to them, you know, they don't really. So I would feel a lot more confident in having it more kind of child-centred, really, and getting them involved in kind of everything.